Hey guys, it's Chris. Welcome back to my channel. I am coming to you today with a review that I think needs to get up here because you know how I am with customer service and everything like that, and especially in the middle of, what we're all going through right now. Money is very tight and money is very tough. And I spent over $40 on this, and I even reached out to her. This is a Shayz Scentz wax review, and back in the day I did a review. It was a cold sniff review, but the melting review was just as good. So this is more of like a PSA, although I have melted some, so I can give you guys a little bit of input. But I'm going to say basically back in like 2013 or something, I used to order from Shayz all the time, and I really, really liked her wax. The owner is Jeanette, and unfortunately you can't even... she's not really on social media. I've tried to join the Facebook group. That's not active because she's just not responding to my request to enter. And I tried to leave a short review on the guest book on the website, which has not been updated since 2012, and it wouldn't let me. It kept giving me an error message, which it also says that things will be looked at first before posted. So anything that you see on there is going to be good reviews. So it probably wouldn't even have gotten up anyway. I don't know. I hate negative reviews. I hate giving negative reviews, and I hate, that kind of stuff. But, I look out for you guys, my subscribers, and I just could not, in good conscience, not make this video. So I got a lot of wax. I got a lot. So I got a lot of stuff I didn't even order. So this right here is cucumber, wasabi, and cilantro. Didn't order this. So a lot of the stuff that I got was stuff that I didn't even order. As you'll notice, her labels have not even changed at all. And this smells horrid. All I can smell is the wasabi. I mean, the cilantro and the wasabi, and I don't even know who would order something like this. I mean, if this is your scent, great. I mean, that's wonderful. There's barely anything on her site. I think she's trying to close down, but I think she's got to update her page for it to be honest. I did contact her and let her know, because the review I did in 2013, I had gotten everything was in these cello wraps. Like, I'll show you. There's kind of wax all over the place here. But in these cello wraps, which is supposed to keep everything together. But as you'll notice, I'm going to try to find one. A lot of the scent shots, some came in my box like totally just rolling around, empty. So I don't know if those were extras she just threw in. I think I can only assume she's closing and just trying to get rid of stock, and most of the stock is really old. As you notice, there's 0 pour dates on this, like none. So you have no idea how old this wax is. And from what I can tell, most of it is old. From what I've melted, I got 0 throw. 0. I can't even say it was light. It was 0. Nothing. I did a whole review on this, cold sniff review, before, and I was going to post that, but I just don't even feel like it's worth your time of me, going through each scent and everything like that, and what's on cold sniff, what smelled decent and what smelled horrible, because or didn't smell at all, because it's just not worth it. It's just really, it would just be a waste of time. So as you will notice, I'm trying to find one that's broken here, but here's one in firewood zucchini. I don't believe I ordered this either. See, this one smells decent. This one smells really decent. I didn't order it. I smell zucchini bread. I don't smell any firewood, but her labels have never changed. Since 2012. Her website has not changed. You can't get a hold of her on Facebook. You can't get a hold of her any place else. I did email her and I love this excuse. So, as you guys know from my older videos, when all I was really doing was candle reviews, and I was testing for independent indie companies and everything like that, that I know my wax and I know what is good and what is just not good. And customer service is the biggest thing to me. And I was basically told by Jeanette that she never got a complaint in her whole 8 years of pouring wax or whatever. Well, that's not true, because when I did my other review, I gave a complaint, which most of it back then, the wax was good. It was the presentation. And I had just given offers in this, or, constructive criticism and just some suggestions going forward. But she never said she was closing. She never said that a lot of that stuff was old. She's still charging full price. I mean, is she cheaper than most? Yes, that's why I ordered, but I also remember loving her stuff. But she never mentioned that she was closing. She never mentioned that, some of this stuff could be old. And if it is going to be old, mark it down. These were about $2. These were $2 a piece. But mark it down to $1. Like how can you in good conscience know or sell something that you know is old and for the same price? I just don't understand it. Anyway, this is going to be kind of a rant, guys, so I'm sorry. And I hate doing this, and I hate making reviews like this. This is very sexy for her. Didn't order this. So like a lot of what I got, there's not a lot to pick from. If there's anything else still on the website, there's just not a lot to pick from. I used to love her palm wax. She was one of the only ones that used palm wax, and I loved it. And so I tried to do all palm wax, and I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what this smells like. I know this is a perfume scent, but it's very light. And so, again, I don't know. But everything is wrapped like this in these bags, which is great. And you would say to yourself, okay, well, if it's in the bag, then you'll still know what it is, right? Well, unfortunately, you won't, because you'll notice, for example, on this scent shot here, she puts her labels on the front. And so, like, with the pop tops off and these solo tops, they just come right off. Like, they just... And most of them came cracked and broken, which at that point, the scent just diminishes. This one smells decent. I can smell it from the outside. I mean, this one smells okay. I can't tell you what it's going to smell like on, because I didn't melt that one yet. But this is an example of her palm wax. So if you notice, it's like crystallized, which palm wax. But see, this is one, it's broken. Like, so they're not staying on. So when I got my box, those that were not wrapped in the cello, yes, this one smells good. But I'm going to have to repackage all these in this type of bag, because I don't know. If I don't just throw this whole order away, to be 100% honest with you. But they're cracked and broken. They don't stay on. And so even if they're in the cello bag, because the label is on the front, you don't know what lid goes to what. So... And you would say, well, you can smell it. You can figure it out. Yeah, unfortunately, with the majority of these, and I ordered probably about 40. No, I'm sorry, like 20-something or 20. I don't know. It was a big order. The order came to I think about $50 or something like that. And so $6.95 flat rate shipping or whatever, like always $6.95, which that's the only really redeeming quality of this, is that the shipping is good. So you don't know what lid goes to what scent shot, because they're not, most of them, you can't smell them and go, oh yeah, this is fudge brownie. Like this one, fortunately you can, but see, this will not stay on now. So I had emailed her and said, hey, listen, what I would suggest doing, I reviewed for you way back in 2012, 2013, and I loved your stuff. And what I would suggest doing is, I told her, I said, I've tested for hours and hours and hours, for many independent companies. What I would suggest is taking your labels, putting them on the side, and taping the lids. If you're going to use cheap lids like this, I mean, this is just it's not even on here. See, I can't even get it to click. It's not on here. Is taping the lids, because this is useless. And I basically got an email back saying, I have never had anyone complain in the 8 years that I've been doing this, which is not true. Like, I can't stand when companies do that, because that's not true. You're not going to tell me you've scored 100 out of 100 every single time. Like, that's just not the case. If you have, then your reviews are rigged or something like that, or people just didn't complain, which I highly doubt. I mean, who's going to spend good hard-earned money and have that situation? Anyway, I melted one of her, these were very hard, super hard. Like I could barely cut through them. I had to use kind of an army knife, like a Bowie knife to cut through it. I tried my wax saw. I tried all that other stuff. Couldn't cut through it. Most of the scents were, I really don't even want to open all these, but as you can see, I have 2 bags. And then I have some free-floating ones and, you know, in these here. And some are pop, but you can tell, like this, like look at this. Like this is obviously old, okay, compared to, you know, like this, okay? So, I mean, this is just obviously old. This has been sitting around forever. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. Yeah, as my fudge brownie is just sitting opened. So a lot of my wax was just rolling around, things you couldn't fit in the cello bags. It was just rolling around in the box, like literally the whole scent shot. Well, I'm not gonna pop this one out because this is crumbly. Let me try this one. See, and this one I like because you can kind of see the oil on the top. That's always like a good sign, and you can see the oil on the bottom. So that's always a good sign that it's a little fresher and it hasn't all dried out, and so that's, you know, good. But so I think I'll have good luck with this one. I'm trying to find one. I can't find one right now that's not in the cello. I don't want to pull them all out again, unfortunately, because all the lids are going to pop off again before I have a chance to transfer them to something like this. But the order was basically, you just kind of had to pick whatever you could pick on there. And I picked a lot of scents that I wouldn't normally go for, only because they were available, only to find out she doesn't send you an invoice, and so you don't know what you ordered. You have to request an invoice. She did send me one after the fact because that was one of my complaints, that there was no invoice. So I don't know what I ordered. And I don't know what was extra. I don't know what was a substitute. I have no idea. So this was just horrible. So I'm not going to pull them out, but I'm going to show you an example of what inside the scent shot. So this has been melted, okay? But inside a scent shot like this, so instead of the top looking nice and smooth like that, a lot of them were also like down to here. They weren't, you know, full to the top. They had shrunk from the container, and a lot of them look like this. You see this? That's what they look like inside the scent shot. So picture this being a scent shot in a container. This is what the top looked like. This was chestnut sugar babies. Smelled, I mean, I had everything closed up. I had no fans going. I had nothing. I split it in half like I always do with two of these warmers on either side of the room. And I have a small area here, not like my old place that was big. I have a small area here and nothing, zero, absolutely zero. I would just buyer beware, stay away from this company. Just don't. I know it seems enticing because her prices are low, but you're paying for what you get, because I really do believe she's going out of business. She just doesn't care anymore. A lot of this stuff is overstock, and she's probably had it for years. What this whole haul reminded me of is when we used to get, you know, we used to call it ass wax, you know, and boxes of that. But you, at least then you knew what you were paying for. So it was like you paid for a box, and a friend would, you know, a friend or somebody would send it to you, and some of the stuff was great and some of the stuff didn't throw at all, and some of the stuff was amazing. You know what I mean? But you knew what you were paying for, and it was a very reduced price. This is basically an ass wax haul that you paid regular price for. Even though, yeah, $2 a scent shot sounds really enticing. You can go to Candles by Victoria. I have an order coming from Candles by Victoria, not of scent shots, but, and she's about $2 also. I think is she $2 or $2.50 a scent shot? So I mean, she's not, you know, that much more expensive. Maybe $2.25. I can't remember, but, and you know, everything's hand poured and everything like that. I just wanted a grab and go store to start off doing reviews again, and this was just horrid, horrible customer service. I tried to place a review, you know, on the website, couldn't do that, kept getting error messages, was never, you know, put in her group. And my email, as you guys know, when I talk to vendors, I can come on here and rant you know, all I want. But when I talk to vendors, I always like to give them a shot, and I always try to be, you know, well, I always am very, you know, nice about it, and, you know, give my suggestions. And she just didn't want to hear any of it. And so you know, it was just that whole, well, it must be you, it's not me situation. And no excuse for it. Like I said, I'm not even going to open these up. If you guys want me to post my cold snip video, I will. It's just, I find it irrelevant at this point. So I got a couple of these firewood zucchinis, this fudge brownie, a lot of the stuff that I had. Yeah, this was the chestnut sugar babies. It was nothing. I mean, it smells like wax. That's all it smells like, is wax. And even in the melter, it smelled like wax. Like, I smelled like a little something, but I hate doing cold. I mean, I won't say I hate doing cold. I like doing cold sniff videos, but I was hoping that I was going to get better luck. And I just didn't. And there were a couple others that I melted, but I ended up throwing the stuff away, the containers away, because, you know, if you know me, you know me. If you know my candle reviews, you know them. And I'm never dishonest. And I hate doing these types of videos, and I hate coming back on here because I have another review coming from Whispering Meadows, Aaron Salzberg's company, and it's great. It's amazing. I'm doing individually, you know, how many hours it threw for how, you know, how strong and everything like I normally, you know, would do. And so you guys know how thorough I am. This is just not worth your time, not worth your money. This is Aaron's Whispering Meadows boutique. And see, she puts the stuff on the side. She has the pour date on it. You know, everything is nice and fresh. And as you can see here, I did less than half a scent shot. And so that's how I always do it. I don't put a whole scent shot in there unless my warmer's bigger. These warmers are small. These are the ones that, you know, everybody got back in the day. And they still are great warmers. I know Candles by Victoria suggests these. They're great warmers, but the bowl is very shallow. So I'm not going to put a whole scent shot in there, because if you put too much wax, too little wax or too much wax, you're not going to get a, you know. So this is a good amount of wax for, should have been able to throw absolutely nothing. It just smelled like wax. I mean, I was shocked. It wasn't even a matter of like, I'd pass the bowl and smell it. Nothing. Even with my nose over it, nothing. That's it, guys. You know, if you want me to post totally unedited, I did it in 2 parts actually, because there's a lot here of the cold sniff from Shayz. I will, if you guys want it, but I'm also going to put a big disclaimer before the video that, you know, buyer beware, do not, because I know I had posted that in one of my videos that I was getting ready to do candle reviews again, or scent shot reviews again, wax melts. And, you know, somebody was like, oh, Shayz, I remember Shayz. Oh, I forgot, I'm gonna have to place an order. And I said, please don't yet. You know, wait for my review to come up. So, and I was scrolling through YouTube, and there's somebody who placed an order October 20, well, she put up her video October, and I'm subscribed to her, and I cannot remember her name right now, and I'm sorry. But she had the exact same experience. She said this stuff is old, it's been sitting around, and there were a couple that she got good scent throw from, and I'm sure there'll be some in here that I'll probably get good scent throw from, but unfortunately it's not worth the gamble. Like, I melted these all day for nothing. I could have spent my day enjoying something fragrant and wonderful, and I don't know what the situation is, but I love you guys. If you guys do want that cold sniff review or cold sniff whatever, you know, just to see the scents that I was able to get, which again, not really my profiles for the most part, but I had to just grab whatever I could. You know, you go to the drop down menu and there's just no options. So I really think she's closing, but vendors, be honest. You know, if you're closing, mark down your stuff, number one. If it's older, let people know that. You know, you have to be transparent, and I'm always transparent on here, and this is why I felt like I really did have to make this video, even though I don't like to, because I can usually do pros and cons. I really couldn't with this, especially with the customer service. I mean, giving me an excuse as I've never had a complaint, like, that used to drive me nuts back in the day, and I'm finding out with my first, you know, review that it's driving me nuts again. You know, I can't stand it. So like 8 years later, that's some vendors, it's still the excuse they're giving. It's just not acceptable. So buyer beware, guys. Do not order because all that stuff that she has should really be thrown in the garbage. It's not sellable. And I'm sorry I had to make this. You know me, I'm always going to be honest. Okay, I love you, and the next one will be nicer. I swear. Take care.